We are down here, Carl, and the important thing is what we saw was this follow through from the central bank actions over in Japan. Let's take a look at the overseas action. Nikkei down 3.7% or so, 3.6%. We're down 12% for the year. No stimulus from them. A lot of people speculated that Kuroda might have been ready to act if the Fed had pointed to a June rate increase because the yen would have strengthened and that would have given them cover to act. Nonetheless, it didn't happen. You see the Nikkei down, Shanghai down a little, Germany down a bit, Spain also down. Some of the big Japanese names that you know were down rather noticeably. A lot of the banks were weak overall. Mizuho and most of the autos, Toyota, Honda, Nissan, also down about 4%. Here in the U.S., most sectors are to the downside, but just fractionally. So tech, consumer staples down. No, tech's up, excuse me, just turned positive. Healthcare and financials to the downside. The earnings picture, we're halfway through. This is the day we make 50% of the S&P 500. So mixed reports. Texas Instruments was good, gave a very solid outlook. They've had a great year overall. Colgate-Palmolive was in line. They have been fading a little bit recently, though. Remember, the consumer names aren't as strong as they were in the earlier part of the year. Altria was a little bit on the mixed side. They had a beat on the revenue and a beat on the earnings and miss on the revenue, but they reaffirmed their guidance for 2016. Potash, look at that, down 5% here. They had a big drop in profit, about 80%. Potash prices were weaker than expected, and they lowered their overall outlook. I do want to point out one of the big oil companies, ConocoPhillips, came out. The good news is a much smaller loss than expected, only a loss of 95 cents here. That was much less than expected overall. They did reduce their capital spending plans. Of course, low commodity price is still an issue, but you see the stock has really recovered since the February lows when it was around $32. So that's about a 50% move off of the lows. The important thing about today is we are at the halfway point for earnings here. 54% of the S&P 500 is reported. We're down 6%. The only good news here, we started the quarter down 9%. So it's improved a little bit. We typically get a 3% move. The hope here is Q2 will end the earnings recession. If we knew normally here, we will end up roughly 1% on the S&P 500. There you see revenues still to the downside for both quarters. Still no revenue growth. Guys, back to you.